Hello YouTube, T.W here, and welcome to my stream of conscious style video on T.W.K's Underground 2, aka one of the dumbest, immature, yet fun experiences you'll probably have while playing a skateboarding game. The main single-player mode on offer is the story mode, and unlike T.W.K 1, the sequel is nowhere near as dramatic. We get the tone set almost immediately as our protagonist, same as the previous entry, is abducted from his hometown of New Jersey, no city is ever given, and who are our abductors? None other than Bam Margera and T.W.K, and I really have to stress how popular Bam Margera was in 2004 when T.W.K 2 was released. Between the Jackass films and Viva La Bam TV series, you truly could not escape Bam Margera, for better or worse. This is why he is on the box, and he also serves as our main antagonist as he and Tony draft two teams to embark on a world destruction tour. Oh, and Eric Sparrow, still voiced by Ben Diskin, is here, and instead of being an evil genius, he's reduced to being this game's punching bag. Quite a fall from grace if I've ever seen one. So, what do we do in each level? Simple, complete goals in whatever order you want to gain points. It should be noted that you actually have to find your chosen teammate for the level as well as two guest skaters to unlock more goals to complete. If you weren't a fan of how you needed to have a full conversation with every NPC in T.W.K 1 to start a goal, then congrats, as you can go from one to another and be mostly dialogue free. The one downside is that you end up speeding through these levels, and unlike T.W.K 1, there's no backtracking. Once you're done, you're done. This also leads to the story mode being significantly shorter than last year's, which I can't fully blame the devs for, as this was during a time of annual T.W.K games, so eventually the schedule was going to bite them and, well, they got bit. As alluded to earlier, the tone is also incredibly immature. If you aren't a fan of early 2000s dude bro humor, then, hoo boy, you're not going to have a good time here. For me, it's very much hit or miss, especially the stuff regarding Nigel Beaverhausen, who shows up about halfway through to become the sort of antagonist, even though Bam already was, but I guess because Bam is so popular, they needed this dude to be the real bad guy? One other criticism I have of the story mode is that the points don't really matter. No matter what your score is, the same cutscenes will play out, so unless you want to complete literally everything, you may as well just do the bare minimum and move on. It might sound like I really hate T.W.K 2 at this point, but in reality, I really enjoyed, or at least what little of it there is. My favorite main level is easily the finale, Skatopia, and not just because it was featured on an episode of Viva La Bam. It's mostly because of Bigfoot, aka Sasquatch. You and tenacious D are real. Yes, I just sang an old Tenacious D song in the worst way possible, because honestly it's one of my favorites, and the fact that more people don't know about it annoys me greatly, and yes, we're talking about the video game now, move back to that subject, I needed to vent about that really quick, and this is the only time I felt like I could do it. So, if the story mode isn't your jam, there is the classic mode, which, as it sounds, has you trying to complete a set of goals within a 2-minute time limit. And, well, that's about it. You might be asking, what more could you possibly want, T-Dub? How about competition levels? In fact, there's no actual competition level to be found anywhere in this game, which is just bizarre for a T.W.K game. Yeah, it's really all well and good to play through some classic levels, but without something to break up the monotony, I just got bored and didn't even finish the mode. I'm sorry, but it just didn't even feel worth the effort. On a positive note, the soundtrack is still one of the greatest to ever be put into any video game ever. If you're a fan of rock, punk, metal, hip-hop, reggae, music in general, then you will find something here to enjoy. Hell, it's because of this game that I became a fan of 3 Inches of Blood, which is a band that I'm shocked more people aren't aware of. Deadly Sinners, Axis of Evil, and Sound Killer are must-listens if you enjoy some good-ass speed metal. Oh, and almost forgot to talk about the secret level unlocked for finishing the story mode, which is simply called Pro Skater. You start off in this hangar operated by aliens, and if you hit these 2 buttons via grinding and wall planting, it will activate a portal, and you know what you find by entering said portal? A Mayan temple, of course. From here, you'll have to graffiti 5 idols, which will have the deity of the temple demand you enter hell. And that's exactly where our third and final part of the level takes place, literally in motherfucking hell. From here, you plant off a couple of runes, which unlocks a portal which will send you into a lounge where you can literally dance with the devil, or at least stand next to him whilst he does the dancing. At least the single player mode ends on a high note, or low, I guess, because hell? You know what? I don't even know anymore. Overall, Thug 2 is immature, stupid, dumb, not very bright, and yet I still find myself coming back to it once in every blue moon. Is it nostalgia? Most likely, yes. After all, this game did have a pretty sizable impact on, if nothing else, my taste in music. Thug 1 still has the better written narrative, and American Wasteland lets you play as Batman, so this one really is a bit of an odd one out. Still, far from the worst game to have the Birdman's name on it, so at least Thug 2 can have that accolade. And that's the video, everyone. I've been able to get a pretty quick turnaround as of late, but that's mainly due to these games being super short. Like, my recording time for Thug 2 is less than 3 hours, which cannot be said for my next game, which I will reveal after the credits. Between that and my upcoming family vacation, it's going to be a few weeks for my next video, so I hope you'll all be patient for that. Thank you all for watching, and I really do hope you all will have a perfect rest of your day.